I'm surprised he made it through the night tonight, last night rather. A couple of people said he looks like he has a little bit of fin rot, plus he came from like a big box store like Walmart for like 98 cents. Hopefully he's gonna end up in the aquarium with Gary and Kathy's fish and live a long and prosperous life. If not, he's gonna have to make it all the way to Halifax, to which where he'll probably definitely not live a long and prosperous life.
In Bathurst, back when we were talking about ribbing Lincoln Steen earlier, I think it was Tony Armstrong. He went out and bought a goldfish, and he put the goldfish inside Lincoln Steen's drinking bottle. It was a big 4-liter bottle of water. So anyway, the next night we had to drive all the way down to Halifax, and of course you got to go through Moncton, which is my hometown. So I decided to give the fish a home because, I mean, I did not want to see the fish die or just, you know, he couldn't live too long being carried around in a water bottle and being banged around and shit, right?
That's it. You do not let the cat suit.
You're putting him in with the fighting fish?
He can't survive the fighting fish?
What the hell is wrong with you?
He can't he's not gonna
In
last
with
over
the
in
fighting
Halifax.
fish?
But my fish is way bigger. Lincoln Steen Jr. will kick the crap out of
Oh my god.
Blackie. I think he's fine. He would have attacked him by now.
Really, the fish shouldn't have to pay for us having a laugh. So, you know, it's fine. The fish has been actually very well looked after. Truth be told, had a little girl gone and bought it from the store, it wouldn't have been looked after any better than what Steen's looking after it. Even had it out in the club with him last night, swimming around in a pint glass. Of water, not beer. Unfortunately, the fish will quickly exceed the intelligence of its owner.
It's a very emotional situation because it's, you know, for the folks of us that have been involved in this since day one, you know, this is the end of a dream that we've been chasing.
The show, we started off a little, the first couple shows weren't that tight, but the last couple shows were absolutely incredible. If we were to be on the road for another week, it would be absolutely perfect, but unfortunately this is it. I'm going to miss it. I've had a hell of a fun week.
It's been a success, I think, all around. You know, the guys are starting to gel more as a team, on both sides of the camera, and it's been really good. You know, I'm kind of sad to see the tour come to an end.
This has been the best week of my life, hands down.
Agree.
There's been nothing better than this tour right here. So
I don't think
it's
anyone
been amazing.
could say anything different, honestly.
You know, this whole crew got along so well. Everyone mashed, you know, even like the production and everybody, like we all got along. It's been so much fun.
Being the last night of the tour is definitely a part that's exciting and sad at the same time. I mean, it's exciting because this means the beginning of something that's going to be huge.
For us young guys, this is a huge opportunity. It's just an honor to be here. It's like, I don't know, it's just a special night, man. Like everything we've learned, all the good times we've had with everybody, you know, getting up and like driving around and doing all this with sore bodies and everything. Just, I don't know, tonight's the last night, you know, for this tour, like you said. And I don't know, it's absolutely beautiful, man.
I'm actually kind of down because I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. Just starting to hit my groove, and I think another couple of weeks on the road would be great. But yeah, I wish it was going to just keep on going.
I think what these guys do should be appreciated more than what it actually is by the mainstream public. I truly believe that when we show people what it takes to become a pro wrestler, to survive as a pro wrestler, and be successful as a pro wrestler, they will be, they'll gain a new appreciation. This is a sport, and it is entertainment, and it is intertwined, and it takes a tremendous amount of talent and ability to put it all together. Gotta get to my new show, Little People, Big World.
Can you tell me a little bit about political correctness in the wrestling world?
There's no such thing. Every rule of society is completely blown out of the water in this industry. Anything goes, absolutely. You can do anything, say anything. anything that is completely wrong to say in any other aspect of life is fair game here.
There's a special room in hell for this. There's a special room in hell for him. Just imagine exactly that, but he has to do it, and it's a lot hotter. That's his eternity. Good luck.
I want to go to hell anyway because there's nobody in heaven that I know.
In Halifax during the afternoon, we needed to do some vignettes, and Darren Harvey was our man to be the interviewer, and unfortunately nobody had discussed this with Darren Harvey, so he was out enjoying himself. You know, he's got lots of free time during the day, and he was gonna come back in the evening to do his job as the ring announcer. So New Scott, who happens to be a local fan, and you know, he's been a real help to us throughout the years in terms of advertising. He runs a website about Maritime wrestling. He just loves the sport. He had done some shoot interviews before and sells them as New Scott shoot interviews on DVD or VHS at one time, or you know, whatever. And I'd never really watched one of his shoot interviews, but I figured, well, how bad can they be? Well, they were bad.
I'm here with Krista Lynn Scott, one of two women in a male-dominated sport. Krista, how are you managing to stick around? I'm joined by Purity Saint, the other female competitor in...
The other female competitor? I don't think so. I'm the only one that matters.
We've drawn a lot of comparisons to Cardinal Center member Cowboy Mike Hughes. Can you tell us about that?
I want to be a great ambassador for my country, and more importantly, I want a title shot. That's what I'm here for. So you need to get yourself back and tell the WR champion that I'm here for a shot.
His vignettes that he did for us were bad. He just, you know, God love New Scott, but he should never be in front of a camera. He was just really nervous and really shaky, and it was bad. And hopefully we'll get some good blooper footage from it or something.
You know, he did try his best. I don't know if he just got into the interviews too much or what, but he kind of looked like Kermit the Frog interviewing somebody on Sesame Street. It just really didn't go off that well. Kermit the Frog, here's Sesame
How did that feel? What were you doing back there?
All that talking in front of the cameras and the microphones. I don't know. I've got no idea. That's a part of the job I've never experienced before, and it was good. It's just maybe another tie under my belt, you know. Basically, this is like, again, I keep saying everything's new to me. The way people they go through matches seem to know who's winning and who's. Because we don't do it in England, I've never experienced it. I mean, I've tried to explain a lot to lads here. If you go out and plan a match, you don't know how the crowd are going to react to it, so you don't know what they want to see. So you've just got to go with everything. You've got to go with what you feel right at the time. If the people are going crazy for the good guy, then maybe it may just be better for the show to let him win so much. I mean, like, I think over time the wrestling job has changed. 10, 15 years ago when I first started, it was real. Nobody came in the dressing room. There was none of this backstage stuff. And the times have changed now, and there's people all around the world are saying wrestling's entertainment. It's called entertainment now. On my job description, I'm an entertainer. So now when people are saying that, it's hard to keep it as strict and as real as it was years ago. But in England especially, there's still a big side of it there. There's still a privacy side. You know, we're all game for after the show. Let's go, all get pissed together. Let's go and try and cop off and have a good time. That's fine. But for that 20 minutes a day, it's strictly business. And I think for me, from my passion for the job, it will never change that.
I think Tommy Osborne, he wants to pursue this MMA stuff. He claims that, you know, he wants to quit wrestling for good and all that stuff, but it's too early in his career to make that kind of a choice. I truly believe that he's not going to quit wrestling.
The boy is disgustingly talented. I mean, he looks like he's been around for years, and he came around the same time as all of us. He's put on every night. He's put on a phenomenal match, phenomenally different every night. With the crowd is at its peak at the end. He's doing phenomenal, and you know, he says he might not have the passion for the business anymore, but I don't buy it. I know he'll be back. I know he will be.
Honestly, man, I thought this tour would go a lot different as far as I don't know, man. I thought I'd just go in and out, be gone, done with it, man. But it's a lot harder than I thought, man. I had planned out to just to go, but I don't think I can say that anymore.
No kidding?
I don't think I can say like I'm just gonna go. It's just like shit happens, man. Like things have happened, and it's fucking, it's getting a lot more difficult. I'll have to see where I am in a couple months.
When I first heard that he was deciding to leave the wrestling business, I was disappointed. I respect Jeff, and I will respect any decision he makes, and I just wish the best for him.
When I had heard that Sidewinder was at the show in Halifax, I thought to myself, hats off to him.
Well, see, I'm privileged because I get to cash in on Side shit's fuck up. Because I wasn't even supposed to wrestle today. I mean, Pete asked me if I knew anybody who could wrestle Sunday, and I said, yeah, me. I'm not wrestling. I don't think you realized that I wasn't on the card Sunday. So, and Tony Armstrong filled in his shift yesterday. So, you know, it's not that I had to step over him. It's just, you know, the opportunity was there, and I got to cash in on it. So it's not, I mean, it's at his expense, but it wasn't my intention.
I've been disappointed in a couple of the young fellas on this tour. Sidewinder being one of them. I really expected a lot from him on this tour. A guy that was, you know, who has talent but doesn't seem to have the professional side down, doesn't have the drive, the will. Myself, I love this business. I have a passion for this business like you wouldn't believe. And I've made a lot of sacrifices in my life to be good at what I do. And for somebody to have as much talent as he does and not take it serious, that's really hard for me to accept.
I like Sidewinder, I really do. And I had plans for Sidewinder. And just because he's been let go doesn't mean that he won't be back, and I appreciate that he's out there working hard now. And he's a good kid at heart, but the problem was he's a kid, you know. And I guess when I see 18 on a piece of paper next to somebody's name, I just assume they're a man. And maybe that's not the right choice of words because I really don't want to assault him, but his maturity levels leave much to be desired. And sitting around smoking dope all day doesn't get stuff done.
You know, what it is with Pete, if somebody really tries for something, he'll go out of his way to try to help that person. He really does have a kind heart.
Anybody who knows Peter Smith knows that, you know, he's going to come right out and tell you what he thinks, and if he's got something to say, he's going to say it to you.
My second year in the business is when I met Mike Hughes, and we very quickly became good friends, best friends. Me and my wife had asked him and his girlfriend to give us a reference for adoption.
But from what I understand, the whole thing was over lost documents where it was felt that I didn't put these documents forward for the adoption or whatever, which is totally not the case. You know, there's nothing I would want to see more than him and Denise have the child that they fortunately have right now.
I've never had an apology. I've never had an apology. If he was to apologize, that would be big to me.
You know, the last couple of years and stuff, me and you, we've been best friends, man, for the longest time. And I think the story's been switched about. And if you thought in any way that I had anything to do with you guys not getting your child, I swear to God on my mother's life, my parents, I would never do anything. Why would I do anything to try to make your life miserable at that point? You've never done anything wrong to me before. We've been the best of friends. I've never done anything with bad intentions towards you. I just want to let you know if that's the way you felt, I'm sorry.
But you do admit that you didn't send the thing because the social worker is willing to testify in court that you never spoke to her. You know what? And you told me that you spoke to her on the phone.
I did everything that I thought possible to help you. Like, I wish I had the stuff so I could show you what I even wrote about you and Denise. Like, there's no bad intentions at all.
That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. I'll take your word for it. I've got no choice but to accept what he said. Maybe it'll never be the same, but you know, this is a good step anyway. It's all right. We got a pretty decent reaction. A lot of stuff was forgotten. A lot of stuff was forgotten in there. Rick was supposed to be tagged in, he wasn't. And when Rick was in, it was supposed to be cut-off time. Rick tagged somebody else in. Liverpool that spot, remember what I said? One of them's always running the opposite way. Gary ran the wrong way. It was simple stuff, but it was a simple match. Nothing there should have been fucked up.
The crowd couldn't really cheer boo because the guys they wanted to win were winning for so long. It looked too dominant, so we couldn't get in and get the sympathy and the reaction we wanted.
I was supposed to tag Gary Williams, but what happened was I was reaching for the ropes because I do a flip, and James tagged my hand because he thought I was tagging him.
No, fucking he should be with us. He was over there and he just fucking gets turned around and go for not seeing it coming like. I like to say, mate. Fucking pissed off. Really fucking pissed off.
James can't understand why these kids are coming over and shaking his hand and saying great match when they weren't in the ring with him. How do they know it was a great match? He might have knocked the guy's teeth out. He might have broke his leg. They don't know. You know, they just don't understand anything about this business. And I think it got to James on the last night.
Well, there's three of us went in and fucking one goes that side, one goes the other way. No one knows what's fucking going on, like, and this is my job, you know what I mean? I should have known what was happening.
Everybody's got their own opinions, everybody's got their own issues with how a match goes and how a match turns out. So it's just one of these things, again, falls down to the respect thing. When a man like that, you can tell there's something bothering him. You know, you just go there, you show respect, give him a handshake. Just, you know, leave him out, give him his space, man. When he's ready, he'll come and talk and everything will be good.
I didn't know what was happening. I feel like I've been fucked tonight. So I don't want to come in and shake people's hand. I want to just have a quiet time on my own now for a bit and get my head together, and then later on it'll be party again. But at the moment, I just, you know what I mean? It's just, you get your adrenaline up like that, you come straight in, everyone's cuddling, shaking hands, and I can't do all that cuddling and shaking hands. Oh, it was great, and we should have done that, I just did what I had to do, you know, and that's, just went out and worked.
Well, you know, I had a couple days to think about all the mistakes I did this week, which were a lot. And above all, I'm more disappointed in myself that, you know, not just that I let myself down, I let everybody else down, like the big guys Pete, who put a lot of faith into me for this tour. And honestly, I feel like absolute shit about it. I just showed up to show my support and I wish them well. And I'm glad I came here because, you know, I was here at the start. I wasn't here near the end, but at least I was here to see how the show ended up. And I'm really happy with the way things went. And I'm happy for everybody else that did really good. I'm proud of them. And I hope that if they give me the chance to come back, I'll give it 110%. I'll make sure I don't make the same mistakes I did before. Yeah.
Nick, come here for a second. I appreciate what you've done tonight. You scored about 1 million points tonight. Coming here and helping out with the ring and stuff, that's exactly the right thing to do. So.
Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. He's a good kid at heart. He really is. Well, he fucked up and he was let go, but when he showed up and helped with the ring tonight and kept quiet and kept out of the way and wasn't a nuisance, he could have came backstage and said hello and hung out with the boys. I really like Nick. You know, I've thought the world of him since the day I met him. I don't think he was good for this team at this point, but he will certainly be back. He's money in the bank, you know, from a promotional standpoint. You know, I can see us selling $1 million of merchandise a year with his face on it.
I'm not gonna lie, man, I got a little teary-eyed for a second.
What did that mean to you?
That actually meant, I can't even explain right now. I'm like class act all the way. Even the second as he was telling me that I was being sent home from the tour, I still had a tremendous amount of respect for the man. I always have and I always will. And just thank you, Peter Smith, everything you've done. Thank you.
And I can't do anything for these guys. I don't know what I can do, but I'll tell you this, I have had an amazing goddamn week. Like, this is just a lifetime of stories, and the one thing I can do is anybody tells me for the rest of my life that wrestling is fake, I will punch them in the fucking head.
It is time for a cold one, my friend. I'm gonna be a really popular dude when I walk in here. Hey, who loves you?
my best friend.
What did I just say? I would be his best friend.
Wow, it's actually over. I've had such a great time. I've had such a great learning experience. I've learned more on this tour as a ref than I could ever learn in the ring at the promotions I've been working for. And I just don't want it to stop in another sense. It's like right now I'm already counting the days till we get another tour going.
It's overwhelming right now. Like I'm actually, I don't really show it like a lot of the guys. There's a lot of guys crying tonight.
Really emotional, actually.
Yeah.
It's been a hard road to get to this point, and now it's coming to an end, and I was so scared. I mean, I worked hard to put this together. I just didn't know if I could perform to everybody's expectations in the ring. Everybody's got strengths and weaknesses, and mine in the ring isn't all that good. And then I get in there with Cowboy and Peter and James, Steve. They're the best guys in the business, man. And I really miss my wife right now, and my kids. And I want to go give them a big hug. It's the most overwhelming experience I've ever had.
You know what, this whole experience, this whole tour that we did with Wrestling Reality was just, to me, it was so many things that I didn't expect. I mean, it was a wrestling tour for one, it was a TV production, it was an eye-opener for me.
It absolutely was a dream come true for so many of us, that from whatever our backgrounds were, or however long we've been in this industry, we all pull together with a real dream because we really believe in what we do.
It'll breathe some fire and some life back into not only Maritime wrestling, but Canadian wrestling at the same time, and show the talent that's basically hidden here.
It feels surreal now that it's over, because Rick and I have been working on this since December of 2004. People laughed at us when we started. Family, friends, everybody. Very few people, they thought, okay, these guys will grow tired of talking about this.
People are going to say, you know what, these guys are legitimate athletes. They really put a lot of work into their trade, and I really think that it's going to change the entire industry, and I believe that people are going to come back to it and really enjoy it for what it is.
I wish that this tour was a month long, because I really have had fun on this tour, and I'm going to miss these guys.
Bye.